Welcome to Words with X, where words keep us moving from day to day. I know, y'all. I know it's been a while since the last podcast, but there is a reason for that. For the distance between episodes, why this one's coming out pretty much the end of April, where the last one came out March. There is a reason, and that will be the theme of this episode. Take a break from fun sometimes to refine the fun. You never heard that before, huh? Let's jump in and I'll explain what all that means. Remember the very first time you went to a social media platform, be it Facebook, Reddit, Snapchat, whatever. There's so many whatever, okay? Remember how much fun it was and how it ignited a joy in you? Now think about how much you use that same platform today and really think about it if it brings the same joy you got when you first started using it. See, I've learned over the years a thing a lot of people don't realize or don't talk about, and that is fun doesn't last forever, and it can't be repeated doing the exact same thing. Don't get me wrong here. You can do the same activity again, like play a game or watch a movie or play sports, all that stuff, but it never invokes the same as it did the very first time. Now, I'm not saying fun isn't being had the second or third time. I'm just saying it's not going to be the same because the first time it had a sense of unknown that can't be repeated the second and third time. And that unknown is what fueled a joy in you that ignited like a wildfire. Just boom, blew up. It's so nice. Now, the second and third time can still be fun. It can still be fun. Now knowing that what you know, but it won't be an exact copy of the first time, okay? So the second and third time you get into it, it's fun, it's nice, but it won't be a copy of that first time, okay? Now, with that in mind, also think of this. Around the 20th time doing something is similar to watching a movie for the 20th time, if you will, okay? It brings a sense of joy, but not the same as it was the first time. Which brings us all the way back to the theme of this episode, and that is fun doesn't last forever. Things can grow boring and not be fun anymore, and that is perfectly understandable. It can happen with anything. It's gonna happen with stuff. It's just the reality. Fun doesn't last forever. So, why did I say all that? To further instill a belief I've had for years now and have tested and proven it works, and that is take some time away from something you enjoy as to not destroy or diminish the joy it once brought you. Come on, people, take a break. Take a break. A lot of people, and I mean a lot of people, not just personal people I know, but people who I don't even, like people I work with, people I've even just talked to online, said something ain't as fun as once was. And I learned they all share the same, they all have a common shared trait. And when they say that trait was they did the same thing they enjoyed over and over and over and over and over and over. Never given it time to simmer, in my opinion, but rather kept the heat on high, if you will, and pretty much, for lack of better terms, burned it out. Doing that quickens how fast something will not bring as much joy as it did before. This will eventually have a person look elsewhere to find a new joy. Come on now, I'm sure as I'm thinking this, you can probably, if you can't think of something, which I'm sure you, the listener, probably did think of something as I was saying this. If you don't think of something, you know somebody else who is doing the exact same thing. They are trying to find something from something they did before, and it's just, they're looking for that fun, if you will. This is why I'm very thankful. I've trained myself since it was like the age of 13 or so even. Trained as in, I never was that person to keep doing something fun I loved constantly. I don't get me wrong, I play with toys, but I'd put my toys down as a kid and come back to them like half an hour or an hour later or so. I'd turn that game off that I was playing as a kid and do something else and come back to that game maybe like an hour later or so like that. You get it? Why did I do that? Why did I do it even at that young age? I did it because I learned even at that young age, the fun once had can be found again. Meaning when I came back, yeah, yeah, the fun once had can be found again. Maybe not in the same way, but a new way as far as appreciating what I was doing and what I'm doing now, even today. But let's go back to talking about at a young age. Even then, I knew that taking a break from it allowed me to have a new way of fun as far as appreciating what I was doing. And taking that time taught me just that. Fun may go away fast, and over time, it may, like I said, fun is going to dissipate, okay? But appreciation for something, now listen, appreciation for something is a lot slower fire to put out, okay? That's like a long burning fire and can last 4 years. 4 years. Shoot, I'll give you a prime example. I have video games now that I played as a child that haven't played in years, but when I turn them on today, still bring me a joy that I felt as a kid to a certain extent. More so a stronger one now that I'm older, that even because I know that the appreciation for that game is there, it just brings me that joy now, you know? The appreciation for that game and playing that game is more of the fun I get now. Not like when you're a kid and it's just, oh no, not the same. But because I took that time away and I didn't jump right on and keep doing it, I have much more fun and appreciation for that game now. Which brings us back to the beginning of this episode when I said, I know it's been a while since last episode, and that is why, y'all. That's why it's been so long. Wasn't because I didn't have time to do one or that it wasn't fun. At one point, though, I'm be honest, it felt like I was just going through the motions to get it out. And that wasn't bringing me the same fun it once did. Don't get me wrong. My process for doing a podcast involves the writing, recording, all of that, editing, all that. And all the process is fun, but when I was trying to put so much out last month, I think I did 3 last month. Bam, 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 bam. And it was nice. I enjoyed the process of doing them, but it felt to the point that I'm doing this more to meet the goal of putting out 3, and it wasn't bringing me the same fun. That's why at the end of March, I told myself, okay, you know what, April, you can take a break if you want, but I didn't want to take a break fully because I didn't want to get lost in the minutia of, like a new channel and all that. So I knew I'd come out with one, but I said by the end of the month, I will put one out there. So with knowing that, last month, I took time off till today, and even as I do this podcast, that time off is bringing and rushing back that joy I felt when I made my first podcast years ago. Like, I ain't even lying. Doing it today, getting back to recording after just being off on a month, it feels so nice. It's bringing me joy. I am enjoying this. I'm ready to do like 8 more podcasts, but I'm talking about in this podcast, I'm not going to because I don't want to diminish the joy that this podcast and doing all of this brings me. Not only does taking time from the fun make it feel fresh and new when you get back to it, it can actually open up your mind even and discover something new about it that you may not have noticed before. I'll speak of a personal example from me, the Life of X, okay, that I feel strengthens what I just said, that you'll notice something if you take some time off, okay? I used to be on that app, I'm sure any listener knows about it, that app TikTok. Oh, I love TikTok. I was on it daily. I loved watching it, and I was watching. I'm sure like we all do, we love watching it, but I was on it daily. I love TikTok. I was blowing it up. My phone was dying. My tablets were dying. It was okay. I loved it. Put it like that. Then one day, I felt myself seeing stuff and thought, it seems repetitive. And I also noticed it didn't really bring me that same hype as some other stuff when I first started. So I decided then to take a few months off from it, okay? So I took some time off. I legit came back to it, I think, Saturday, just like 2 days ago when the time of this recording. And the same that was repetitive then, not only was enjoyable now to me, because I'd been away from it, so it's kind of like a freshness with it. Also showed me a different feature on the TikTok app I had never discovered before. I didn't even know it was there before. Now, granted, it could have been not there when I was using it in the past, but the point is, taking that time off and coming back like that not only did the repetitive feel new and more exciting and fresh and everything, but I even discovered something new. And that's what I mean when I'm talking about when you take some time off, it can open up your mind to stuff. That's what I mean when you talking about take some time off, it can open up your mind to stuff. As I'm saying this, it actually reminds me of a quote I heard a long time ago, which I didn't get as fully as I do now that I'm older and I'm doing this podcast and I'm actually thinking about it, but it does remind me of this quote. Taking a break can lead to breakthroughs by Russell Eric Dobda. I'm sorry if I screwed up that last name. I'll say it one more time for anybody. Taking a break can lead to breakthroughs by Russell Eric Dobda. Now, I'm not saying what I did on TikTok was a breakthrough, not that sense, but I can't tell you how many times I've walked away from a task that I was stuck on. Say it's like working in the yard, can't figure something out, working on a car, can't figure it out. I take a break, take a little hour, go get me a sandwich, get some bubble gum, something. Just get away from it, then come back, and it's like instantly I discover something to help get through that problem I was stuck on. You get what I'm saying with that? You kind of get where I'm going with this. And the same thing I'm trying to instill in this podcast is that the same can be done with fun. And I say that because I do a lot of well, I shouldn't say a lot, but I do a game quite often, more than I want to admit, but I do it. And I talk to other people, and they're always like, oh, this game is boring. This is boring. This ain't fun. And the game's been out since 2016. And to me, when I do it, it's still like brand new. Like, I'm still like, this is awesome. Now, don't get me wrong, I take like a few days from it, or maybe a week or two. Don't get me wrong, I love when I do take weeks from it, but that's kind of the whole point of the podcast, which is take a break from the fun for a little bit. Take a break, step back. And as far as the whole taking a break can also open up breakthroughs, allowing that time away from that game when I come back allows my mind to open up and see it in some different ways that I didn't see before when I was trying to do it constantly, left and right, up and down. Maybe not daily, but a lot. A lot. So let's be honest, y'all. Let's talk real. We all love to have fun. We all at some point in life need to have fun. And it can be found anywhere. I don't care if it's a good book, a video game, whatever. Fun can be found anywhere if you open your eyes to it. That is true. Yes, that is true. With that, though, comes a choice that only you, the listener, can make for yourself. And that choice is how well you nurture that fun. Be it keep it fresh by taking some time from it every now and then, or letting it run till it seizes up like an engine by doing it constantly, every day, over and over and over and over and over. That choice is yours. That's why I said nurture the fun. We all need fun, but it's up to us, the person having the fun, to nurture that fun. Because I've done both. When I say it can happen without even realizing, it can. Because I have. I've done the do it over and over. Heck, like I just talked a minute ago with TikTok. I was running through that. And yeah, that's why I took a break. Whereas the other, like my gaming I was talking about, when I first got the game, I was doing let's be honest, the burning like wildfire, trying to do it every day. And that's why over the years, even I said, I gotta take a break. I've watched movies so much, I didn't even want to see them now. I don't even want to see them now. Whereas I've limited myself to games sometimes, and even some movies that years later, even to today, I still find joy in them like they are brand new. Fun is addicting, people. Yes, it is very addicting, but it is also fragile. I hate to break it, fun is fragile. It needs us to take care of it. So nurture it. Nurture it, people. How we do so entirely up to us, but take it from this podcaster. I highly recommend you nurture fun when you find it, because doing so will make it last years out. I'll give you another prime example before I close this episode out. Look at when I first started doing this podcast channel to begin with. I think that was years ago. There was a long delay, and here we are today. And I'm still finding joy in this. Still heavily thinking about it on some days. Think about it. And that's all I'm saying. Fun doesn't last forever. Needs to be nurtured. take a step away from it every now and then. Every now and then, you will feel how it helps when you come back to that fun. Well, that's another Words with X for you today. I hope it got you thinking a little bit. Hope whatever you're doing fun today, you take a little break from it at some point so you can get that appreciation for it. So when you come back to it, it is just as fun as it was before, if not more. Trust me. Trust me. Try it. See what happens. Let's have some fun today, y'all. And remember, words is what keeps us moving.